So after that conversation with my mom, I had to go meet some people, not spirits. I have to go meet some people because we are working on a project together. And it is some sort of psychological mini-series. And all of a sudden, they started speaking about the very same topic that I was speaking about with some people that I know. Just very recently, what triggered the question I had to my mom, that why is it like even if I try my best to communicate with people, sometimes I don't feel that I can reach them. They started talking about the problem of destructive habits or something like this. And then the topic of this is who I am, this is who I am. Like this is who I am. The topic of this is who I am. And they are discussing. Of course, they were able to relate to each other. And for me, this is their perspective on it. It's not something that I can relate to anymore when it comes to this part of my life. Before, I am also experiencing it the way they are experiencing it, but somehow something happened, or a series of things happened, and then somehow my journey led to a different place or branched out in a different manner. So now I don't have problems anymore with destructive habits. Or if I catch myself being trapped in one, I can immediately take myself out. I know better now how I operate and how to motivate myself, or not even motivate, but how to make myself move in a way that feels exciting. So now, since I have had this almost the same, almost the identical discussion just recently, and then this again, I'm now trying to think, should I try to open myself again, or just listen to them, because I'm really listening to them. And the only thing that's different, the flavor of the conversation is different in this one. Let's call it group B. Let's call the other one group A. Okay, the other one, group A, this group that I have been yesterday, group B, is that they don't seem to be enjoying their bad habits. They're aware, and they somehow have, I'm not sure if it's, they have accepted the parts of themselves that are sometimes getting in the way, in their own way. they have accepted it. It's not necessarily that it is something that they enjoy, but because the difference with the group A and B, the group A, I got the feeling that they are somehow attached to being stuck in life. They somehow they seem to be enjoying it a little bit. I'm not sure, because at least that's how it appeared when I'm speaking to them. But the group B, I didn't get this feeling. I got the feeling from them, for example, a person, of course, all of us have the sides that we like in ourselves and the sides that, well, we don't like. Then they have learned to accept the parts of themselves that they don't like. Because of this is who I am, this is who I am. This is, yeah. And I'm glued there, trying to, should I express my perspective in this? Or would it be unwise? But eventually I did share. I started it with, you know how, it's so funny because I just had this almost identical conversations very recently about destructive habits and parts of the self that the people themselves don't like about themselves. And now I said to them, now I'm torn if I would share how this is different from my experience with life in general. Now, at least, I'm torn if I should provide an alternate perspective based on my experience. I'm a bit torn because I'm not sure how they will react to it. But I did eventually share because not personal, but more of like a question, kind of. So let's say, I told them, with having that sides of myself that I don't really prefer, or my habits that I don't really prefer, I always question them. I don't just, well, this is who I am. I'm not sure if I have ever said it to myself when I'm like not in this context. I'm not sure if I have, like, this is who I am, deal with it or something. I'm not sure if I can't remember. But I don't usually use that. Not usually, I don't use that at all. Because how sure are you that what you think that you are is really who you are? How sure are you that the way you respond to things, the way you take in information, the way you handle stress, the way you react in general to people and things is who you are? How sure are you? Because it could be the reason, I told them, the reason why I'm not so attached with the previous versions of myself, or like the way I deal with things, that I always have these questions that of the validity of them, that are they really honest, or is because this could be something that I just picked up on my environment when I was a kid, for example, and it just carried on because it was left, I'm not paying attention to it, it just carried on for maybe as long as when I'm in my 20s or something. That's the reason why I always challenge myself when I see something that, for example, I can share part of myself, or part of how I approach things that I don't really like. For example, this keeping the feelings to the self. I'm generally like that. Like, that is how I dealt with my feelings for, I don't know, until 2 years ago or something. 1 year, 3 years, I'm not sure now which. That's generally how I don't speak about how I feel. And then it came to a point where I'm like, this is damaging me to the degree where I can feel the life drain out, or this is heavy. This approach to things, not speaking about how one feels, this is heavy. So you kind of become like, maybe this is not me. Maybe this is how I responded to my environment when I was young. Maybe since I'm an adult now, I can sort of inspect it and see, well, is this something that's, since it's painful to myself, that not sharing feelings, since I have a lot of feelings, unfortunately. Maybe this is something that I can experiment on and see, dismantle and experiment on this. And it worked. I can now share my feelings. I can now share my feelings a lot of the times. I now have this choice. Yeah, at least I now have this choice. If I don't want to share what I feel, and if I want to, I could share it without feeling like my esophagus is being held. Like that. Yeah, I now have the option, because before I can't. I don't have the ability to share my feelings in words or any other form. Maybe in my eyes, it's always visible, but so I challenged how they approached this. Like, how sure are you that this is who you are? That this always this, doing this, or always reacting like this, how sure are you that this is something that you should just say, well, this is me, deal with it? How sure are you, my friend? And I can feel that the water is being absorbed by the soil. That's another difference that I felt with Group B. I can see literally the words. They are hearing me. They heard me. And then suddenly the conversation has more movement to it. not just in one straight direction. Suddenly the conversation has more now dimensions. Because they can hear me. They can hear the perspective that you know how when you're speaking with someone and you're looking at them. And yesterday when I was speaking to one of them, of course, you look in the eyes. You can see it was as if a bridge was starting to roll out of the eyes of the individual, and I can walk there and we can meet somewhere. It feels like that when someone is really, like, when someone really heard you, it feels like suddenly there's some kind of depth maybe in their eyes that started to change. I'm not exactly sure, but just the feeling that I got when I was looking at them, it was as if suddenly the cliff started growing some bridge on their little wooden planks connected together by the rope, and reaching me as well. And now I have the permission to walk further. That's what I was looking for in the group A that I didn't get, and that I got frustrated. Then I thought I have autism because I cannot communicate. Apparently, it's just the fact that it's not always that people can really hear or absorb. But yeah, it's great once because you can really see the difference with people who are reachable. You can feel it. Maybe not see, but there's a feeling there that they're also laying out a bridge. And you are also at the same time. And you are, it's not just one-sided. I'm trying to lay a bridge in here, but somehow the other side is moving further and further. And now I'm just frustrated because no, it's not always like this. Not everyone is, some people are reachable. And it's so nice to have this kind of contrast. Because now at least I'm aware that people are just different. And it's always very refreshing to encounter some who can hear you.